Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Soul Sister Show this wonderful Thursday, May 28th. So we are in a wonderful springtime, and we are going to be on today with host Sue Schumacher and myself, Anne Anoulla. And we are a live call-in show, so call in at 213-943-3587. 213-943-3587. Ask a question or get a free mini reading live on air. And today we are actually holding open lines. International callers dial +1 before the number, and if you want to talk with us live on the show, press 1. And I'm Anne, coming to you live from Stockholm, Sweden, and we finally have 20 degrees Celsius here, so it's coming into nice late spring and maybe early summer soon. And on today's show, we have open lines, plus we will talk to our very special guest, Zelda Kelly, all the way from Tennessee in the U.S. Zelda is a renowned psychic and cartomancer and a psychic advisor at Psychic Stars. And Zelda has been with us, I think, 3 times before, so this would be the 4th time, and she's really experienced and good and has a lot of really spiritual and interesting information to share. We are a live call-in worldwide radio, broadcasting today's show from Arizona in the U.S. and Stockholm, Sweden. And you can always listen live and text chat with us during the show at scrollsofthesoul.com/live. scrollsofthesoul.com/live. Or why not give us a ring at 213-943-3587. 213-943-3587. Ask questions or get a free mini reading live on air. International callers dial +1 before the number, and if you want to talk with us, press 1. And as I said on today's show, we hold open lines, plus talk to our very special guest, Zelda Kelly, all the way from Tennessee in the U.S. And Zelda is a renowned psychic and cartomancer and a psychic advisor at Psychic Stars. So this is a really professional woman. She has many years of experience. And we are the show that discusses the Akashic Records, soul realignment, healing modalities in general, and of course, we are passionate about talking about any and all spiritual topics. And we are always a live call-in worldwide radio, so give us a ring at 213-943-3587. 213-943-3587. International callers dial +1 before the number, and now is a great time to get your spot in the queue early. And press 1 if you want to talk with us live on the show. And we are proud to announce that we now have listeners in 21 countries around the world and growing. So we are steady and nicely growing and having people from all around the globe. You can visit us on YouTube. Just search for Scrolls of the Soul Radio directly on YouTube. And if you like us, please subscribe so you can keep yourself updated and help us to grow. And you can find upcoming episodes and listen to full past episodes on YouTube. Now, finally, let me bring on my co-host for Soul Sisters, Sue, all the way from hot Arizona. Hi, Sue. How are you? Do you agree with me?
Oh, yeah, I agree with you. It's hot Arizona, all right. Oh, boy. 100, it was 102 yesterday. I'm not sure what it's going to be today, but I can tell you it's going to be over 100 degrees today. So.
Oh, wow. Wow.
The husband said 107 is expected.
Oh,
the only
gee.
time of year I'm not looking forward to living in. I don't look forward to living in the desert. It gets too hot.
No. You
So,
have to get your whole body and mind and soul and everything to my place when I'm in Greece, okay?
yeah.
Because
well,
we are an island.
Yeah, there's an ocean there, so that's a plus.
Yes.
But here,
yes.
it's like opening an oven door, when you walk outside.
Yeah,
So,
I imagine.
Yep.
So, everybody listening once again here, now is a great time to call in and get your spot in the queue. Call in at 213-943-3587. 213-943-3587. International callers dial +1 before the number, and remember to press 1 on the keypad on your device to be placed in queue to talk with us live on the show. And if you'd like to connect with me, Anne, or Sue, you can find us at scrollsofthesoul.com/Sue or scrollsofthesoul.com/Anne. Or why not go to scrollsofthesoul.com, where you can find out all there is about us. And before we move on with today's show, I know that Sue always wants to remind us what last show was all about.
Yes, I do. Last week actually was about angel numbers. That's something we do every third week of the month, or every third show of the month. And we had gone through 1, and last week was all the way up to 4. Next month we'll, of course, take on 5, but then we're going to take on something a little bit different after that. We're going to actually start with some numerology, which it's kind of interesting to do, and I'm just catching up a little bit to Anne because she's done a bit more numerology than me. So we'll take on some numbers probably July, I believe. Next month is the final series of the angel numbers, so it'll be the third week in July. And that's just kind of a really cool topic to take on, because what's fascinating is we all spot numbers. Everyone pays attention to sequence of numbers. So it was interesting. We had some interesting callers, all of them having their own experience or unique experience with numbers, and how they are starting to awaken or become aware by the series of numbers that they're seeing. So it's an interesting area to jump into, and
it's really interesting, really.
Yeah, it's one both Anne and I have spotted early on when we both started getting our feet wet in this arena. Numbers was one of the first things that kind of jumped out at us. So that was last week's topic, and like I said, every third Thursday of the month, it's an area we'll take on. All right, so that was last week, and I'm going to move on to this week, which we have a very special guest who we've had on before, and we love having her because she's very well versed in many aspects, in many areas. So I'm going to see if she's there. Zelda, are you there?
I am here. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone out there. How are you ladies? This sounds so interesting, numbers and all that. I can't wait to tune in and listen to you.
Yeah. We just,
welcome.
Try to be
Thank
consistent.
you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, welcome. Consistent with some of the shows you do. And other, we just kind of free for all. Some, I think the second week we kind of free flow with that. Anyway, so how are you, and how's it going in your part of the country where you're at?
I'll tell you, I'm actually doing very well. Thanks for asking. We, and I say my family and I are, we're held up in the trenches like everyone else, and we're
Right.
keeping a good outlook, and we're doing great. And we make sure that we stay in different rooms, and we get along fine, and we are keeping really such a great outlook that we're trying not to let all the quarantines and all those theories and everything that's going on around not to affect us too much. So we're looking forward to this new age, a new world that is about to come before us, and this is going to be a very interesting time in our lives. So we're doing very well, thank you. Yeah, doing very well.
Right. That's good. It's difficult to have a positive outlook on a lot of it because it is not something we're all used to, So I commend you for that. That's really great.
Well, thank you very much. For the first time in, I think, the history of the world, the entire world is grieving. And when you think about it, we are grieving over many things. The loss of family and friends, the loss of jobs, the loss of many different things around us, including life isn't the way it was for many of us 4 or 5 months ago, and it will never be like that again. And in this grief, we are experiencing a lot of different emotions, and it's very hard for a lot of people to maintain and continue to move forward. And I think it's our job, really, as human beings, to help support each other, not only financially, but also spiritually, mentally, physically, and check up on each other and just make sure that, hey, are you doing okay? How's things going? The social distancing isn't a problem for me because I work from home all the time. So, the only thing that I have around me are a few cats, and that's it. So if you hear a meow today while everything is going on, that's a normal thing. So they like to just sit around and be a part of things. But I know for a lot of people, and we are a society that we gravitate towards social events. We love the sporting events. We love all of these, everything down from movies to restaurant gatherings to conferences and, of course, music concerts and so forth. So there's a lot of things that we really just have gone cold turkey on. And I hear now that some of the casinos in the U.S. are opening up again. Some of the different sports arenas are opening. The states are opening. I think there's so many theories. Is it too soon? Is it not too soon? In some aspects, I think it's too soon. But in other aspects, I think as a society, we need to get back out there again, and we need to start participating in life or feel like we're participating in life again and getting back to whatever that degree of normal that we are about to have and start from scratch and get going. Right. So that's my 2 cents, ladies.
Okay, I got to throw in just a little bit. There's risk in everything in life. In fact, America was kind of, you could say, founded on risk. My issue, which I won't drone on for too long about, is the fact that choice of risk got taken away from us. That's something I kind of have my own personal issue I won't get into. So, when deaths are pronounced, let's say, do we have death pronounced for other aspects of life? No. So, I'm kind of leery on some of these numbers that they put out to the public. I'm not one to trust the media, so that doesn't help anyways. So, I kind of have my own, own views on it, but I won't go any further than that. But yeah, I agree. It's time to open up. We need to open up, and there's going to be some risk. That's part of being a free
Absolutely.
society.
Absolutely. And my motto has been lately not to let the circumstances control us, but we control the circumstances. We need to just kind of start taking control of our lives and our own mental health and well-being, and that's what we need to do.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. So with that being said, I'm going to get into a little bit of questioning about you in general.
Oh boy! I didn't do it. I swear, I didn't do it.
A little bit
I'm all
of a
ears
deep
here.
So tell our audience a bit about yourself and how it is you got into the spiritual arena. I know you've been doing this for a little bit of time.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Well, that ages me, but I don't care anymore. I'm to that point. I don't care anymore. But actually, my first experience was at the age of 4, and I won't go into the big story, but I actually experienced a doll, a very beautiful doll that was gifted to me, and my sister had one as well, by my grandparents, that actually after a few days was, after my little mantras of telling her how beautiful she was nightly, actually turned and winked at me. And that started it. I was 4. I realized during that time, because I remember going through after the hysteria of seeing all this and the experience of my grandparents coming at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I remember the looks between my mother and my grandmother, and at that point I just knew. I wasn't old enough logically to think, I wonder, but I just knew instinctively there was something to all of that. Ultimately, the doll was thrown away, and I learned years and years later that the doll was missing out of the garbage, out of the trash, outside, waiting for the collectors to come. The doll went missing before it was like at 4 o'clock in the morning and was never to be found. So that started the whole thing. And then, of course, years and years, throughout the years, my grandmother was also a cartomancer, which is using the ordinary playing card deck. And growing up, we would play card games and so forth, but the numbers and the combinations of cards started to kind of get to me, and it was very difficult for me to play games with cards. And, of course, now if you are a cartomancer, which is the art of reading the playing cards, and you practice cartomancy, then you know that you cannot play a game with the same cards that you read with. So through the years, my grandmother taught me this and that, and then, of course, there were more paranormal experiences, and my family and I lived in a farm home in Ohio that was part of an underground railroad during the Civil War, where they took blacks from the South, slaves from the South, up through to Canada. And we had a lot of paranormal activity there. So it just went on, and finally I just started to really get involved and sought out more of an educational. I wanted to see the science behind it all. There had to be an explanation. I can't even talk today. And I ended up doing a lot of studying at the Edgar Cayce Foundation in Virginia Beach. I have my doctorate in paranormal and metaphysical sciences with an emphasis in theology. And so it just kind of went on from there. To sit down and explain everything would be hours and hours. I am writing a book. That's the next thing. But I'm going on 39 years of card reading professionally and being involved in the paranormal, ghost hunting field. Back in the day, Sue, and I know that you know this too, back in the day when this first was popular, before all these shows, we went out with rare equipment like,
oh yeah,
it was just like the little Fisher-Price baby cassette players and this sort of thing. And it was very interesting, and I had a lot of experiences from that. Then I ended up with, right now I'm currently with Psychic Stars, which is, I'm going to say, the best psychic line that I've ever read with. I have been on several, and this is the best one. We have a very caring staff, and each one of the people in customer service have been, do study the divination and those types of sciences. So it's a field that when you get into it, you can't get out. I mean, and it's a good thing a lot. I have walked away from it a few times in my life because it became so intense. But here I am, and it's led me here to you ladies, and I'm very thankful and grateful for that. So I plan on continuing for many, many years to come, and that's kind of the Reader's Digest condensed version of the whole thing.
Right.
So,
yeah, hey, that's completely understandable. There's a lot of time and experience here. So, that it would take, like you said, a few days just to deep dive into everything, and that's okay. I did a little bit of research because, and I'm probably going to really mess this up. Cartometry, is that how you say it?
Cartomancy.
Okay, cartometry.
Cartomancy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I was researching some of that. Now, when you do this, are you using a full deck, or are there cards that get removed?
Actually, the answer to both of those questions are yes, sometimes. It's kind of funny that you say full deck, because before I really get into that, there is a little saying that basically I know that what we refer to a lot of people sometimes when they're not really playing with a full deck.
Yeah,
and I know that you know what I mean. That's where that comes from, is having cards removed. But the answer is yes. A lot of times I'll remove 10 cards. So if I'm reading online and we're doing fast readings, the average reading is between 10 and 15 minutes. Some people buy a larger package. And if you want to go on our website, let me give you the website. It's www.psychicstars.com. And while I'm on that subject, if you ladies don't mind, I want to let you know that Psychic Stars has given us a promotional package for first-time callers, and that is 10 minutes free with any paid package when you're a first-time caller. And I'll give you the 800 number, and I think you ladies are kind enough to write it into the chat on the website.
Yes, I will.
800-656-4925. And if you're an international caller, please dial +1. And that again is 800-656-4925. And when you call that number, please tell them that you heard me today on the radio or on the podcast or whatever it is that you want to tell them, that you know Zelda or whatever, and they'll be glad to set you up with that package. If that line is busy, you may go on the website, and you may also call the other number that is published on the website, and that is 800-892-6982. And then again, for international callers, that is +1. So it's 800-892-6982. Either number will work, but please call the other one today to get your promotional package of 10 minutes free with the first-time caller. So now back to your, thank you for letting me say that, ladies. But back to this, I do read certain types of it depends on really the type of reading. Cartomancy is really a very specialized and broad area. Cartomancy, well, the first card games came out in about the 9th century in China, and of course they didn't have the paper and plastic that our cards are made, so they were carved on wood and bone and stones back then. And then in the 13th century, the cards started to come about. A very interesting fact I'd like to tell you about the cards real quick. If I have a minute there, Sue, do I still have a minute, or do you have to do
I think so. I think you have a minute before now.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So the one great thing about this card has the cards have such great history. And we can get into that too. I think there's some very interesting history the listeners would love to hear. But if you look at the Ace of Spades in your deck, you'll see that ace is very different than the rest of any of the other cards. And there usually is a big emblem, or it looks like a stamp or something on that ace. And that was because in the 18th century in England, they levied a tax on card playing because it became so popular that they felt that the tax would fund wars and, of course, their luxurious way of living, some of the British rulers and so forth. So what they did was when they issued a deck of cards, you had to get that stamp on that Ace of Spades. If you forged the stamp, it was a death penalty. And that's why the Ace of Spades is always considered to be the death card in the deck. Now, to us today, and to me, I don't read deaths like that. To me, it's an ending of a situation, or a new beginning, or an end of an era, or something like that, and denotes a beginning. But back then, it was truly very bloody and gory, and of course, they stopped the executions. But later on in years, they continued to tax until 1960. They finally ended the tax on the Ace of Spades on the card. So it's funny because some of those sayings that you're not playing with a full deck are very true, because some of the people would just take out the Ace of Spades and not play with it if they couldn't get if they didn't have the tax to pay for it. So that's a little history of our deck. And of course, the tarot cards came from the ordinary playing deck. And I am not a talented tarot reader at all. I'm
not
tried,
either.
And I tell you, I admit it. That's a talent that I think goes beyond. And my kudos to those people that do read tarot. But I get a lot of information from my good old little playing card deck, so I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, that's interesting. You know, I was reading up a week ago or so just to get some historical information. Now, from what I read, didn't Italy try to make some claims that they first started some of this?
They sure did.
It was, yeah.
They sure did, Sue. You're absolutely right. It was Italy. It seemed like they got into this little competition war. It was France, Italy, and of course England and the Anglo-Saxon. And the French are the ones who came up with the clubs and the spades and the hearts and the diamonds. And we, of course, use that today. But in Germany, it were something like staves and shields and batons and all the leaves and all of these different things. The French have a different way of reading. There was a lady by the name of Mademoiselle Lenormand, and she came up with a way of divination, and she read for Napoleon and Josephine, and actually predicted, and actually predicted some of the wars that Napoleon had gotten into, and predicted the divorce between Napoleon and Josephine. And Napoleon was so angry because he she predicted that he threw her in jail. That's another whole another show. That was very interesting how that worked out. But yes, they were in a big healthy competition. A lot of people do read still the same in the French way, where say for instance the clubs for the French and a lot of that type of reading. The clubs in their deck is not a good card. It is a card that is a negative card. Now, for me, I read in the English Anglo-Saxon way, and for me, it is a spade. That is not such a good card, but it is the club that denotes money and all things business and derives from money and so forth. So it just depends on really your style. And once you get into that style, it's pretty hard to switch over and understand a lot. And I go through many decks a year. I've done thousands of readings. And my first deck, I remember, I actually bought in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and this was 40-some years ago. And it was not plastic coated. It was one of those souvenir decks that had the Welcome to Gatlinburg on it, and I loved those cards, and they ended up just literally falling to pieces because I had used them so much. But boy, they really gave me some great readings. And now I switch decks often because the energy is different, and they get a little used. And for reading for so many people so quickly is okay, but I change decks, and I make sure that I wash my hands a lot too while I'm reading. So I was, when this quarantine came, I was all set. I was already washing my hands a lot. I washed
you were
my hands
prepared.
a lot. I was very prepared. Anyway, so I thought I'd share a little bit of that there before we went into your announcements, and just tell me to be quiet and to just put a lid on it while you have to do announcements, okay, ladies? Because I would tell you, to me, it's always still interesting. I would tell you everything. So just say, put a lid on it, Zelda, and I'll be glad to.
No, it's fine. Actually, I'm very curious to hear everything that you have to say, basically. So thank you for that.
You.
And
you're welcome.
Now I think it's actually a good time to get into those announcements. I'm making them quick. So everybody listening in today, on today's show, we hold open lines. Plus we talk to special guest Zelda Kelly all the way from Tennessee, U.S. And Zelda is a renowned psychic and cartomancer and a psychic advisor at Psychic Stars. And if you haven't called in yet, now is a great time to call in at 213-943-3587. 213-943-3587. International callers dial +1 before the number, and you can connect with Zelda at psychicstars.com. psychicstars.com. And Zelda also have a special number for first-time callers. You have to correct me, Zelda, if I'm saying this wrong. So she's working for Psychic Stars, and this is a special number for first-time callers where you can actually get 10 minutes for free, and I think there was something else too. Just tell reception that you heard Zelda Kelly on the radio show today. So you call in at 800-656-4925. 800-656-4925. And if you're an international caller, you dial +1. I also put that number up and some other connection info in the chat room. So go to scrollsofthesoul.com/live. scrollsofthesoul.com/live in the chat room. And if you'd like to connect with me, Anne, or Sue, you can find us at scrollsofthesoul.com/Stu or scrollsofthesoul.com/Anne. And you can always listen live and text chat with us during our shows at scrollsofthesoul.com/live. And our next upcoming show here on Scrolls of the Soul Radio is next Thursday, June 4th. Finally June, guys, with Soul Sisters Show, and we will talk about soul realignment and property clearing. We take your calls for questions and mini readings live on air as usual, and we'll be on 10 a.m. Pacific in the US, 6 p.m. London, and 7 p.m. Sweden, and 8 p.m. Greece in Europe. And you can always keep yourself updated on our shows at scrollsofthesoul.com/upcoming, scrollsofthesoul.com/upcoming. Or why not go to our YouTube channel? Just search for Scrolls of the Soul Radio on YouTube. We are always a live call-in worldwide radio, and we are broadcasting today from Arizona in the US and Stockholm, Sweden in Europe. And if you haven't called in yet, I know that we have a long line of people, but there's still space. So call in at 213-943-3587. International callers dial +1 before the number. And ladies, I'm done. I'm all ears again.
Very good, Ann. You did that great.
You.
Thank you.
Thank you for the announcement, Susie. All right. Are you guys all set to maybe take some phone calls? Because my board is pretty stacked here. And,
yes,
I would love. I would love
and,
to.
I would really love to ask more questions, but we're on the clock here, so I'm going to just move to call, guys.
Sure. If I can just say, if you're going to be calling in today, if you, to your listeners, if you're going to be calling in today, please note that I do not diagnose health issues. I don't talk about legal issues. And if you don't want anything put out there on the World Wide Web, don't ask, because sometimes these things really come out. So, just with that said, so I'm ready when you are, Sue. That's fine.
All right. I'll go to our first caller.
Great.
Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Laura in New Jersey.
Hi, Laura. Welcome. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing very good. Do you have a question for our guest, Zelda Kelly?
Yes, I would like to know when you see me being able to get a job.
Okay. All right. Laura from New Jersey. I hope you're well. I'm shuffling the cards now on your behalf. And let's see. Now, let me ask you this. Are you in or are you around the medical field? I'm not talking about illness. I'm talking about employment type of, there's something, medical document, paperwork, something.
Sometimes I do contract work for the pharmaceutical industry.
Okay. So let's see here what we can figure out for you. The first card out, my darling, is a 10 of diamonds. And it's telling me that you are changing jobs and there is a need for change and there is new work ahead of you. So your question was, are you going to find a new job, or are you currently, my cards are telling me, are you currently employed right now and looking for another job, or are you on unemployment and looking for another job?
I'm on unemployment looking for another job.
Okay, all right. That is definitely what you're going to be finding, my dear, and that's going to be coming up. That looks like you're going to have a job before, right around June 5th is very significant for you, okay? So right around June 5th, I want you to know that you're going to be either knowing something about a new job for yourself. Looks like there's 2 opportunities coming, so that's great. And your industry will be opening up a little bit more toward the 10th that you're currently in, and it's going to be a little easier for you to get. So not too far from now. You'll be back working not too far from now.
Oh, great. Wonderful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, my darling. You stay well, and thanks for calling in. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Have a
Bye-bye
good day.
For now.
Bye. Okay. Very good. As soon as you said medical field, I was right there with you.
Good.
I totally agree about that. Yep.
I was gonna ask you ladies because I know that we're always very good at going behind each other and if you want to chime in, please do, because I know that you have your trusty cards there. Yeah. So
right, I do, but and actually a lot of times I'll just do I'm really brain farting today. So I'll just use a different tool to do a reading. It's one of those days for me today. I'll do automatic writing. That's kind of a lot of times. I'll look at the cards and go, oh, not today, and just automatic write. So I can see the medical symbol.
Oh, interesting. Oh, good.
So that was quite interesting. So, okay.
It is.
So, yeah, Laura, if you're still listening, which I think she is, call back and let us know, because we love to hear how things are going, if things are working out. Did it occur? Did the job opportunity occur? We always like our callers and our listeners to call in, just because we're really honored by that trust that's given to us. So we do like to hear back.
That's absolutely right. Thank you for that.
All right. Yeah. So moving on, let me get to the next caller. Hello, caller.
Hello.
What's your name? Where you're calling from? Hi.
Hi. This is Craig in California.
Hi, Craig in California. How's it going out there?
Oh, Lord, it's actually going very well. I find myself being very refreshed a lot of the times because of the refreshment that I get to partake of, which is making me feel something outside of myself that I really enjoy a lot. So I try to spend as much time as over here to the best of my ability and enjoy that.
Oh,
right.
Good.
Right. That's very good. I've got to tell you, I'm so proud of our callers and listeners, because everyone just has this very positive response to what's going on. There's like a lot of self-reflection. So I'm very proud of everyone. And thank you for that. We really appreciate it. Is there something Kelly can do for you, Zelda Kelly?
Yeah. I was thinking about it. I went through all kinds of things. I was going to say this, I was going to ask that, I was going to do this and this, and I changed up all the things. And then when it finally, I was like, okay, it's your time to shine, sweetie. So I'm like, okay.
Go
so
for
anyway,
it.
Here I am. Yeah, here I am. And you ever read The Catcher in the Rye?
No.
No. Yeah, no, I can't say I have either.
Can't say I have. Sorry. No.
Okay, so there's this character in there, right? And he's a narrator of a story that he's telling, if you will. He's going back and he's talking about this, but he's not reliable because he's jaded about the world around him, right? He's sarcastic, but underneath the sarcastic stuff is a retelling of his story, of his life, which is from a higher perspective now, because if we talk about vibrations, he wasn't speaking from a lower vibration, he's speaking from a higher one. So I feel like this is what's happening to me, and I think a lot of people are reflecting what I'm projecting, if you will. And I was wondering, what do you think about the future, and as far as this gift is concerned? What do you see? Everything? What do you see? Anything? You see, like, I need some changes, and I don't want to say what they are because I don't need to. I'm just talking about it right now.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to tell you, if you're not into public speaking, you missed your calling, my dear. But while I'm shuffling. Usually when people talk, I shuffle. And sometimes a card will jump out. And the card that jumped out for you is the Ten of Hearts. And for my meanings, that is a new beginning for you. There's new beginnings in relationships, new beginning and new phase of relationships for you right now. New phase is coming. I'm going to say that you crossed that threshold of that situation of being stagnant and not feeling like you're going forward and in the middle of a movement, and you've crossed that. And you're in now to a new chapter. I think there's some healing that you have to do from some learned behavior from the past, but you've got a good grip on it, and I think subconsciously, and I think that you are one of these people, gifted people, that, you know, most times we have between 65 and 80,000 thoughts per day subconsciously, and I'm going to tell you, my darling, I think you have the 80,000 subconscious range, because I think that you now have started recognizing the unrecognizable, believing the unbelievable, and you're taking control of situations in your life that felt totally uncontrolled and uncontrollable just a few short years ago. You've got a great future ahead of you, and I think that you're about to embark on another path coming forward for you. So I hope that all rings a bell. That is, you've got a really good outlook. You're letting your light shine, so to speak. And this is, I hope that you continue to study, and I hope that you continue to seek the truth, because, you know, it's a never-ending study for most of us. But new phase is coming for you, my darling. So you're going to be doing just fine. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well too.
Yeah, thank you. And it's been a journey, like you said. You know, I've listened to people share their testimony about their dance with time, you know, as it has already happened. And the people that I speak to, the ones that are closest to me are the ones that have the most difficulty, and which causes a lot of things on my side.
Sure.
Because I'm such a person that wants to just, like, you know, think that, okay, maybe they act like they get it, but then they don't, because right away they go right back to what they're doing. And I'm over here and I'm outside of myself, and I'm thinking, well, if I don't see myself clearly, I'm not going to be able to see them. So I need to stay focused, because I think it's important that we do that.
Could I say something here, Craig? This is Sue.
Sure.
I can't speak for the family member, but I hear that because they're not on the same level, and it's not really about brightness, it's about awareness. So they can only have an understanding to their best ability, and then that's it. You know, they can't go any further. Where Zelda Kelly had said, you're running on a different level. You know, you have to it's a higher plane.
Yeah, they have to have this in your thought process. So these people are intellectually, you know, they're like really very smart people. I mean, we all probably have a photographic memory to some degree, I guess, but these people really do. And they're not.
And I'm not diminishing that.
Yeah, I'm not taking away anybody's credentials, because I always make a little joke about that. I always say, you know, that's what I use for my toilet paper, is that kind of stuff, because that doesn't even come close to where I'm at, you know, and that's why I would say that. But they would take it the wrong way, because they're looking at their education, and I'm going, yeah, well, your education is wonderful. I said nothing that wasn't wonderful about all that, but you don't understand some things, and the fact that you don't understand, well, that increases my wanting to teach you, if you will.
Yeah, there's there's that intellectual, there's that book smart, then there's just the combination of the intellectual, book smart, and street smart. You kind of have all of that, and this great understanding and awareness. Not a lot of people are going to be at your level. They're just not, and I know you know that already. It's not to diminish others around you. They're only capable of understanding what they can understand. Anything beyond that is kind of out of their realm. Does that make sense? So, and it can be quite a lonely gig in the same respect. But I agree very much with Zelda Kelly that there's a coming out of, you're coming away from, and as far as you being able to teach, and a great orator, she's correct on that, and I know you know that it's not something new,
Well,
so
I don't know too much of anything. That's the thing. I really don't know anything. I mean, I don't get I can't get an accurate appraisal of anything, so I'm not jumping up and down right now. But I was jumping up and down at one time, but then that all kind of came to a halt. So, so I guess it's just because of me, and I have to learn. So that's probably what it's mostly about. Right.
Well, sometimes we have to stretch ourselves, Craig. We have to really flex and stretch ourselves. So when you're feeling like this, it may just take you walking into a bookstore when they open, or going online and really just looking for something that takes your eye and continue that study on that, because I know that all roads will lead you to where you want to be. And that's kind of what happened with me, because I was all over the place: paranormal, theology, psychology, this, that, the other thing, cartomancy, all the E's going on, that we could think of. And then I landed with the cartomancy and the basic advising and counseling. So that's I think you're doing good, and you're on a path. But I think what you also humbly realize that we are never done. We're never done with this seeking and learning, and when we get done is when we become stagnant and unable to learn. And you're not to that point. You're not that point. So you keep up the good work, Craig, and we thank you so much for calling in. We really appreciate you, and we wish you all the best. Yes.
Thanks.
Good luck, Craig.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Let me see. All right. Okay, next caller. Moving on, guys. Sorry about that. I had to scroll down here. Give me a sec. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Donna, and I'm from Pennsylvania.
Hi, Donna. How's it going in Pennsylvania?
Excuse me?
How is it going in Pennsylvania?
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Nice.
I wanted to ask you. To make a long story short, because it's a long story. I was in a relationship with someone for a long time, and then we split up for a while due to different circumstances and everything. So then we've been seeing each other off and on a couple years, and he said he has to, before this all started, he says, I have to go to Turkey. That's where he's from, which he don't like going to. But he says, and when I come back, everything's going to be okay with us. And he's texting me back and forth. And he said he'll be home next week on the 7th. And I'm just wondering, do you see this being sincere? Do you see him being in Turkey and trying to work on us?
Okay, let me take a look at this, Miss Donna. And while I'm shuffling, I think it's important to let you know that there are two ways that I read. And that is, there's a divination way, which asks for guidance and asks for your path that you're to go down. And then there's a futuristic predictive way, which we look into the future to see what we can see. And I only look about 2 or 3 months most, because people have free will and they change their minds. In your case, we're going to have to do both, because you do need some guidance, you need some direction, and you do need to know where this is going. So, with that being said, I'm looking for your cards. Just give me a second here. You've got a lot of pairs right here. That tells me that you are on the right path. There's a yes card here to the summer, and I do believe that he will resurface again this summer. You have threes together, which are very good. And the message of those 3 threes here are you need stability, you need emotional stability, and
yes.
There's an education card here, and it tells me that you are learning the lesson. So what I'm going to say, my darling, is this. I don't know where he is, and because his cards are kind of all over the place like a bumblebee, I'm not going to say that he's lying to you or he's not miscommunicating, but I don't see him in your cards. Now, that doesn't mean anything except that I don't see him. But what I will tell you is he will come about during that time frame, and I think he's going to be about 2 days later than what he said he's going to be. But I want you to really stop and think about this, and what does he bring to your relationship? It feels as though you are the one who is making the sacrifices. You are the one who is making sure that you nurture the relationship. And yes, he participates and he texts and so forth. I'm not sure if he is ready for the commitment that you're needing and wanting right now. And so I'm going to say take the slow boat, meaning nice and slow, easy does it, see exactly what it is. I think he's sincere to a point, but I want you to be very mindful of yourself and don't lose yourself by giving yourself over to someone who may not or may not be able to give back to you. So don't pour your life into his life so much that you lose what it is that you want to do in life. You're very good, very beautiful. You have a great heart, and you have just such high hopes. I think you're going to be, I know you're going to be okay. So I'm just going to say take it easy. Easy does it there, darling. And you're going to get along just fine. And then when he comes back, you're going to instinctively know what it is and what pathway you're going to take. I know you've been praying about this and wondering and so forth. And I want to invite you now to just start believing, not praying and asking. You can continue to do that. But along with that, believing that that pathway will come in for you, and it will. You'll know instinctively when he comes there.
Okay.
All right, Donna. I hope that helps.
Oh, yeah,
All
it
right.
is. Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. I'm sorry. I thought we lost you there for a second. Yeah, I thought we lost you there. Yeah. You put your attention in yourself, and you'll have the answers you need, darling.
Yeah. All right, Donna. Thank you. Thank you for calling.
Thank you, Donna.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. I was talking to my boss. That's why I
Oh.
said yeah. So you said he will be back around, and when he does, I'll have my answers.
When he does, you'll have the answer. But don't lose yourself in the relationship to the point where you give up your own things and your own interests, and you're the one nurturing and coddling your relationship. And what you need to do is you need to take that back a little bit, and you need to focus on yourself. But you will know when he resurfaces what direction and path. He will give you signs and indications, and you'll be able to make up your mind directly in which way you want to go.
Okay, but you see everything okay with me and relationship-wise?
I see everything I see everything okay with you, but I do see that you're going to make a decision when he resurfaces as to what direction you want to go with him. So that's what I'm seeing. You're going to be just fine. This summer is going to be a good summer for you, and it's going to be a new beginning. Will he be in it? I can't tell you because you haven't made up your mind yet, and that's a decision that you need to make. And you'll know it when he comes back around you. Yes.
Right, because that's what I know is he's just going to come around when he feels, and you can't see if he's living with someone else.
Let me take a look real quick and see if I can tell you. There is a third-party interference between the two of you, and I don't know if that's part of your family or someone close to you that's advising you. There is someone on his end that is doing that as well. I'm going to say this, and at the risk of sounding too harsh, I have to say
that's okay.
I don't think that he is what he's pretending to be. And the cards that come up for him are okay, but they're not banner cards that should be in this relationship that you are supposed to be in. I don't think he's telling you the truth. I have a joker here, and when I use both jokers in my deck. One is black and white. The other one is full color. The full color joker is out, so that means he's really hiding some things that you need to be aware of. What are they? I don't know. He's got them hidden, and we don't have the time to really get into it, so I can start asking him subconsciously what's going on. I think it's going to be a concern for you, but I think the biggest thing out of this is he's not who he is pretending that he is to you. And there is a word of caution, and that's why I'm saying just pull back, take care of yourself, focus on yourself. When he resurfaces, it's not going to be on the day that he says. It's going to be like 2 or 3 days later. But when he resurfaces, you'll know by your instinct what you need to do and what's going on with him. And frankly, if it continues on the path that I see right now, you will choose to move on.
Okay, but can I just ask you, do you see that being a cousin, like a female cousin, or a family, or just a...
Do you mean with him or with you?
With him, the influence.
With him? It's a family member. I don't know. It is a female. It's a family member. Beyond that, I don't really know who she is or what part she plays in that. But it's not a love interest. It's a female family member.
Okay, and it's not a love interest. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome so much. Be well, my darling. And call in and let us know how it's going, okay?
I will, and I can have a private reading with you?
You can if you, I'm available on psychicstars.com. And most people, and I have to say this, somebody say, oh, well, can you take me outside of Psychic Stars? I charge $125 an hour, so it's probably better financially for you to go through Psychic Stars. That's the best route for you to take. And of course, if you're a first-time caller, you get 10 minutes free with a paid package. So you can get an introductory package of 10 minutes, and then you get 10 minutes free. So you could have 20 minutes there for an introductory price. So just call that number on the website, or you can stop by Psychic Stars and call customer service and tell them you spoke to me on the Scroll of the Soul, Scrolls of the Soul. I can't, it's a tongue twister for me. Sorry, ladies. But tell them you heard me and spoke to me on the show, and they'll be sure to give you that price.
Okay, thank you for your time and your help. Thank you.
You're welcome, darling. You be well, okay? You take care.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. If you like, it's actually, the channel is Scrolls of the Soul, but the show is actually the Soul Sisters show.
I'll just go ahead and say the Soul Sisters. How's that?
You're right.
Soul
yeah,
Sisters.
go ahead.
That's okay.
Yeah, because when we originally came to this platform to Blog Talk, you have to come up with some type of, we wanted to always keep the show, Soul Sister show, per a previous platform we were on. So when we came here, we had to kind of give it a name. So the Scrolls of the Soul has to do with the Akashic Records and how, either the records could be on a scroll or in a library type of thing. It's the way in which the soul's records are held. So we kind of came up with that name. It goes back to something else, but it has very much to do with the
ancient of time.
Right, with time and with history. So, it's not so much the name of it. The name is Soul Sister Show.
Right.
So.
Gotcha.
All right.
Before, ladies, we take the other call, I just want to say, when you say history, I don't know, I'm just going to put that out there. Do you find that most, advisors, I don't like the word psychic, I'm just going to say that, for lack of a better word, but advisors or people that read cards, or they're empaths, clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, whatever the case may be, do you find that we're all very nostalgic, that we love history, and that we grow from the past, and even though we predict the future, we take from the past to predict the future? Does that make any sense? I don't know.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I think, the human condition, there's certain things that are part of the human experience that are kind of finite, I guess, just being a human being. And then there is patterns in history that tend to kind of repeat themselves. And for Ann and I, specifically, like when we talk of soul realignment or the Akashic Records, it's kind of, those are the things we learn. We start to learn that and see that the soul had created some patterns that were unique to that soul. There's a really cool history. We all have a very cool history. Soul does. So it's intriguing. It's intriguing to learn about those times and get a better understanding. Not that we have to know everything, but it is. It's very cool, some of the information you can come across.
It is very cool. It is very cool. Okay, cool.
All right, so we're down to about 15 minutes top. So I'm going to grab another call, and then we're going to probably bring it out to a close, or else my system is just going to kick us off the board.
Okay.
So, I'll take my next caller. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, this is Tata from Pennsylvania.
Can you repeat your name again? I didn't hear that.
It's just a unique name with a lot of T's, Tata.
As a T, okay. Tata. Welcome. From Pennsylvania,
Thank you.
said?
Yep.
How are you? How's it going in Pennsylvania?
It's starting to be quite warm these days. Usually need air conditioning now. Where I am, it's a bit cloudy right now. It rained earlier.
Right. Well, and you're getting into the humidity, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, what can we do for you?
Why don't I like certain people? Like, I didn't mean to be rude or, like, yell at them. I don't know. They're like, I don't know what happens. I just naturally start to,
I'm right behind you on that. I'm just kidding you. But believe me, I understand where you're coming from. But especially in this time that we live in, our emotions are high, and we wear our hearts on our sleeves and this sort of thing. I'm going to tell you that you have kind of a sense, and it's a cross between, and I don't even know if it's an empathic sense, but it is definitely a predictive, I'm going to say that, a sense. Empath, I think, is probably the closest that I can come to it. And I think that your inner being, your soul, your personality even will many times clash with that person. And I think it's done on a subconscious level. I think that there's a different type of connection there. And, pardon me, I think that perhaps you need to start practicing some type of self-control all over that, because one thing I don't want to do is get hurt from lashing out at someone when they sometimes, don't know what has happened. I think sometimes you pick up things in life that may have happened previously in their lives, your life, whatever the case may be. But for you, my dear, I think that you need to really pray and meditate and make sure that you can get that part under control. There's many things with many of us who are readers and empaths and clairvoyants, and that we have things like that. I mean, I went through a period in my life where I couldn't walk down the street without seeing someone, that had some type of something in their life, and I wanted to just go up and shake them and say, don't you know this is going to happen if you're going to go on the same period that you're going through? You need to do this and this and this. And I had to learn really how to shut that down and control that. And for you, I think it's going to be a lot of meditation, and I think it's going to be understanding what's behind it. I don't know, Sue, if you want to jump in there and or Anne and put some thoughts out there. That's what I can think of, my dear. I think that's what's going on with you.
I can't disagree, actually. I'm kind of there with you. But there is an extra, like you said early on, there is a heightened awareness here. And kind of, if I can put it really simply, no time for BS, I guess. That makes sense.
Trivial, yeah. No
so
time for trivial
really,
matters, yeah.
Which, look, it's not a bad thing. The only aspect I would quite honestly add to any of that would be maybe the way in which you express it. So it's not everyone can handle that directness. It's bold and direct, and it comes out as an insult. And I know, a lot of times you're going back saying, you didn't mean it as an insult. Not always, anyways. And it just didn't come out right because you're kind of on a higher level, right? And I know you know that, right? So it's like you don't have time really to explain it. You don't feel like you want to explain yourself. But on that aspect, I would just say, if anything, take a few seconds, about 5 seconds, and just think before you say anything, or you come up with a different word or two, just so you don't send out that energy of shock to someone. Because I think it's a misunderstanding. I think in a lot of ways people don't understand you, and you're kind of aware of that, So just take like that 5 seconds when you go to say something. Add another word or two in your head before you speak, if that makes sense. Maybe to soften what it is you want to say. Does that make sense, Tata?
Yeah.
You look, when you're on a higher level, a spiritual level, and a higher smarts, let's say, I'm going to kind of simplify that. It's not always easy to express, and a lot of people don't know how to take it, So it can seem rather bold or even aggressive when it's not meant to. I know it's, most of the time it's not meant to. It's just a total misunderstanding, So, but in another sense, it's a very good tool you have too, because it also helps you quickly weed out some idiots, I guess. I don't want to call people idiots, so that was probably a bad way of saying it. For you, what's intellectually meets you intellectually helps you kind of weed those people out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to apologize. It just kind of slipped out there, and I apologize for using that. That probably wasn't the proper way of doing it.
Sue, you're so
Sometimes
funny.
things just comes out, you know.
Yeah.
But
well, everybody has a barometer. So
right,
it.
and that's a better way of putting it. It is your barometer. It's how you measure intellect, I guess, and people's smarts, so to speak. And some people just aren't there. Look, that's okay. It's kind of a gift you have. It's not a bad gift. It doesn't always work to your advantage, but it sometimes does. And you know it does. That makes sense?
Yeah.
I think you're doing just fine.
Yeah.
I think you're doing just fine.
Yep, you are. Listen, keep us updated on how things go. And I, like Zelda Kelly said, you're going to be fine. You're absolutely going to be fine. Okay?
Thank you so much.
All right.
You're
Thank
welcome,
you.
darling. Hang in there. Have a good day.
All right. That was interesting. You know, I got a lot of the things, information you got, and you know, we've had a couple callers where, you know, there's that there's a different area of the brain that's operating. Not everyone can understand. You know, some of us operate on that different level, and it's all about wording. I think if she just takes a little bit of time, just that 5 seconds to run one or two more words through her head, you might be able to soften the verbal approach. Not everyone's used to boldness, you know.
That's right.
So
that's right.
Hey,
very good. Very good.
It's not a bad thing. It'll also get you ahead. You know, a lot of the aspects of life that can get you ahead. But I am going to grab, we know this. I'm going to grab one more caller, and then I'm going to wrap that up, okay? Because the clock's running out. So I'll pull in one more, and then we'll bring it to an end. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Anoulla. I'm from Connecticut.
Hi, nice to meet you. Welcome from Connecticut. How's it going out there?
It's going. It's a cloudy day, but it's humid. You know, it's typical Northeast, so it makes sense.
Oh, yeah. I was born and raised there. Born in Norwalk and raised in Bethel.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm in Northwest. I'm in Avon area.
Oh, gotcha. All right, that's a nice area.
Very nice.
Yeah. Oh my God, what a small world. What a small world. So I do have a question, if that's okay.
Sure.
I was wondering, there's this gentleman that it's been 2 years of on and off, and I really feel like whatever the outcome may be, if this is like the summer is going to be the finale, I just feel like I have to decide on my own. I'm just giving myself a time because it's been 2 years of on and off, and the weird thing is that when we're away, it's like a flower that's growing. We grow so quickly, and then when we're together, it's even more. So, what do you feel about this gentleman? Do you feel it's going the long haul, or what do you feel?
Okay, just give me the first initial of his first name, please.
Sure. It's A.
Okay. Let me see what Mr. A is doing here. Okay.
Yes.
That didn't sound so right, did it? I apologize for that. Oh my gosh, that could be taken in many different contexts. Okay, I'm going to say, what your gentleman friend. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. There's a card that popped out. And that is the Seven of Hearts. Now, the Seven of Hearts denotes fulfillment And I believe that is what you're feeling when you're together and your heart is full and you feel that there's contentment and that you are that you're so reminiscing of this relationship. But then when things aren't so good and you're away from each other, your heart begins to grow and it's full and you're reminiscing once again about good times and so forth.
Yeah.
I think with you are in love with the idea of being in love with him. And I think you are in love with him, but I believe that this is a comfort zone for you. So you don't have to reach out there and maybe go meet someone new. And because I'll tell you, I get it. It is very tough in these days to meet someone new who does not, abuse drugs or alcohol and is someone who they say they are and want to commit and all that other good stuff. I get that. But with him, he's already entered that comfort zone. And in the cards, he's telling me, whatever she wants to do. If she wants to stay together, great. If she doesn't, great. I can go on, just whatever she wants to do. It's kind of like he's putting it in your hands. Even though he's a participant, he doesn't contribute. And it's usually up to you. Yeah, it's usually up to you what's going on and what you need to do and all that. So I'm going to say this. This will go on for the next 100 years if you allow it to. So, you are the one who is going to have to, remember, you're the one. You are the one, and you are the one who is beautiful. You are the one who's doing great. You are the one who is really, you know where you want to go and you know where you want to be. This is getting old. Right. And the charm is going out of it. And it's kind of like you when you don't see him, you're so excited, and then when you see him, it's like, okay, well, never mind, and it's because you've built yourself up with that anticipation, and then it's not that he isn't all what you anticipate, it's just that your anticipation becomes imagination. So, pardon me, I believe the ball is in your court, my darling. And I think you can take this where, when, however you want to take it. And that's it. So with that being said, that's not my decision. It's going to be yours. And I'm just saying, I think you know in your heart where to take this. And I think it's going to be very tough. If you want to go in that direction, and that's really it, darling. You're going to have to make that decision, and nobody can make it for you. And I think you're wanting him to help you make the decision, and he's such a non-participant, he can't even help you make that decision. So by not deciding, he is deciding. Does that make sense? So that's it, my darling, for that. Yes.
It's just interesting because I haven't seen it. He was only 10 minutes away, and I haven't seen him in 7 months. And it's a long story. We don't need to go there, but I saw him a couple of days ago, and like you're right, I'm validating. It's all anticipating. He just had a birthday. I gave him a gift. It's just very something I thought of him, and I gave it to him. And it's not how he even reacted. It's just him. I had all these hopes and then he comes, and it's just like. What happened?
Right. I need to cut in real quick. I've got to cut in real quick. I've got to wrap this up because my board is going to kick us all off air if I don't bring this to an ending. But we're on every Thursday at the same time. So please keep us updated on how things are going, okay?
Thank you, my darling, for calling in.
All right.
Thank you.
Be well.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for calling in. All right. And
thank you very much. Yes, I'm here.
Bring that over to
you.
Yes,
I'm here. I'm sorry for stressing you, but we are going to be kicked out. So everybody listening, thank you so much. And thank you, ladies. This has been a wonderful show.
Thank
you. And on today's show,
both.
we have been talking to you, special guest, Zelda Kelly, all the way from Tennessee in the U.S. And Zelda is a renowned psychic and cartomancer and a psychic advisor at Psychic Stars. You can connect with Zelda at, sorry for my voice, psychicstars.com. And there's a special number for first-time callers connected to her at Psychic Stars. You call 800-656-4925. And you can read more about this at scrollsofthesoul.com/live. Scrollsofthesoul.com/live. Read about this in the chat room. And our next upcoming show here on Scrolls of the Soul Radio is next Thursday, June 4th, with Soul Sister Show, and we will talk about soul realignment and property clearing. We take your calls for questions and mini readings live on air. We will be on same time as usual, 10 a.m. Pacific in the U.S., 6 p.m. London, 7 p.m. Sweden, and 8 p.m. Greece. And you can always keep yourself updated on upcoming shows at scrollsofthesoul.com/upcoming and past episodes at scrollsofthesoul.com/past. And if you would like to connect with Sue or me, you can find us at scrollsofthesoul.com/Sue or scrollsofthesoul.com/N. And thank you all for listening and calling in, and we'll be back next Thursday, June 4th. And Sue, do you have anything you want to tell the listeners before the show ends?
Just quickly, thank you everyone for entrusting us. We so value you, and we value your trust in us. So thank you very much, and thank you for our guest Zelda Kelly. We so appreciate having you on. We're going to have to do it again.
Thank you, ladies. I'll tell you, our time goes so fast when we're together. I appreciate you, and I want to thank all the listeners, and especially to thank to Psychic Stars for giving us that special number today. We appreciate you, everyone. Thank you, ladies, and thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful to you.
Oh, thank you.
And we're grateful for you, too. Thank you.
All right, Sissy. We're going to have to bring it to a close. Thank you, everyone, for calling in and listening.
Bye for now.
And
bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye for now.
Love, peace, and joy to all of you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.